Welcome back to 10-Minute Minds. Today, we are talking about Gen Z and their revolution in our workplace. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Who is Gen Z? Gen Z, sometimes called Zoomers, is the generation born roughly between 1997 and 2012. Today, they're teenagers, college students, and young professionals stepping into the workforce. They are the first generation to grow up fully digital, raised on smartphones, social media, and a world more connected than ever before. But they've also grown up in a time of constant crises, financial instability, climate change warnings, political division, and most recently, a global pandemic that flipped work on its head. For older generations, this created a stereotype that Gen Z is lazy, entitled, or unwilling to put in the hard work. But the truth? It's far more interesting. Gen Z isn't rejecting work itself. They're rejecting outdated systems of work, and in doing so, they're quietly reshaping what success really means. This is the story of Gen Z's quiet revolution in the workplace. Part 1. Rethinking Work. The Great Reimagining. For decades, the workplace followed a simple story. Success meant climbing the corporate ladder. Get hired, work hard, stay late, earn promotions. Sacrifice today for a brighter tomorrow. And maybe, if you worked long enough, you'd get the corner office and a gold watch at retirement. That story doesn't inspire Gen Z. They saw their parents burn out, work through illnesses, and sometimes lose jobs despite years of loyalty. They witnessed recessions, layoffs, and entire industries collapse overnight. They lived through the pandemic, which showed that much of what we thought was essential about office life, long commutes, rigid schedules, constant meetings, wasn't essential at all. So Gen Z asks, why climb a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall? Instead, they're focusing on building a life, not just a resume. Success is not measured only by salary or job title, but by balance, purpose, and growth. Take the idea of quiet quitting. Mainstream headlines claimed it meant young workers were lazy, only doing the bare minimum. But look closer, and you'll see something else. Quiet quitting is really about setting boundaries. It's about refusing to give 120% effort to a company that gives back only 70%. On the other end, some Gen Z workers have embraced loud advocating, speaking up for mental health support, fair pay, or workplace safety. Consider Emily, a 24-year-old marketing associate. When her manager demanded late nights and weekend emails, she didn't silently suffer. She politely but firmly explained her limits, pointing to the company's own wellness policy. Her colleagues soon followed, and the entire department shifted its expectations. This is what makes Gen Z different. They don't hide behind slogans like, "We're a family." They want transparency. In short, Gen Z is reimagining work itself, not as the center of life, but as one part of a bigger picture. Part 2. Redefining Success. Beyond the grind for previous generations, success often meant climbing as high as possible. Bigger salaries, bigger titles, bigger offices. But Gen Z is quietly redefining that idea. To them, success looks different. First, it means mental health matters. Many young workers openly talk about therapy, burnout, and anxiety, topics older generations often avoided. They've grown up in an age where mental health is not taboo, but vital. Second, success means flexibility is non-negotiable. Remote work, hybrid schedules, or flexible hours aren't seen as perks. They're seen as the new normal. Third, Gen Z values skills over titles. Instead of chasing a rigid career path, they care about continuous learning. For them, the ability to adapt is more valuable than a fixed label. In short, Gen Z's definition of success is not climbing higher, it's living better. Part 3. Tools for change, tech-savvy and socially conscious. Gen Z is the first generation raised fully in the digital age. Technology isn't something they adopted, it's something they grew up with. And they're using it in powerful ways. Social media is one tool. Where older workers might whisper about unfair pay, Gen Z posts salary ranges online for everyone to see. Where toxic bosses once went unchecked, they now face viral TikToks exposing their behavior. In 2022, a series of videos by young employees at major retail chains revealed unsafe working conditions. Within weeks, corporate headquarters responded with changes. Not because of traditional HR complaints, but because the issue went viral on TikTok. The gig economy is another tool. Gen Z isn't afraid of side hustles. Many work multiple jobs, not out of desperation, but by design. Artificial intelligence and automation are also part of the story. While older generations feared robots taking jobs, Gen Z sees AI as a partner. For example, instead of spending hours writing routine emails, a Gen Z project manager might use AI to draft them, freeing time for creative planning. Instead of fearing job loss, they ask, how can I use this tool to do my work better? In short, Gen Z is not just tech-savvy. They're using technology to challenge old systems, create new opportunities, and push for fairness. Part 4. The Corporate Challenge, Challenging the Old Guard. Of course, this revolution creates tension. Many companies struggle to adapt to Gen Z expectations. The talent war is real. Employers who insist on strict office hours or outdated policies often find their job postings ignored. For instance, in 2023, a well-known financial firm in London advertised for full-time, in-office-only roles. The positions stayed open for months. Meanwhile, a smaller competitor offering hybrid work filled similar roles in weeks. Corporate culture is also shifting. Gen Z pushes against rigid hierarchies where the boss's word is law. They want workplaces where voices matter, no matter the title. At one tech startup, interns are encouraged to join brainstorming sessions alongside executives. The result? Fresh ideas, better morale, and a sense of shared ownership. The ripple effects go beyond the workplace. As consumers, Gen Z is driving companies to change too. They demand sustainability, diversity, and authenticity. Fast fashion brands have faced boycotts after Gen Z influencers highlighted poor labor practices. In contrast, sustainable brands gained loyalty even if their prices were higher. For employers, the message is clear: adapt or lose both employees and customers. Part 5. The Future of Work, a Gen Z Revolution. So where does this all lead? Gen Z is pushing us toward a future where work serves life, not the other way around. A future where equity matters, where companies don't just talk about diversity, but actually practice it. A future where innovation grows from well-being, not exhaustion. And a future where flexibility, transparency, and purpose are not extras, but essentials. This revolution is quiet. It's not marked by protests in the streets or sudden overnight changes. Instead, it's slow, steady, and unstoppable. Gen Z isn't just building a better workplace for themselves, they're building it for all of us. The only question left is, will you be part of it? Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out 10 Minute Minds channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.